Hello YouTubers, this is One True Blue American. We're out to get some more pictures of this beautiful state of Colorado as it turns its golden colors in the fall. We're going to get the sun to our backs here. Start getting some better video. There's some aspens that just now starting to change. As we get up in altitude, we're starting out roughly around 8,000 feet here. And as we get up higher in altitude, well, you're going to see more and more of the color change happening because it's colder. Don't want to lug it down. This is a fun road to ride. Nice, comfortable curves. Got my rear suspension pumped up just a little bit higher than normal, so it's a tighter ride today. I watched a lot of the YouTube videos, and I had to laugh at one old boy that was critiquing the 2016 Road King and how tough its suspension was. And I wonder if he thought about asking how much air pressure was in it. You know, the beautiful thing about air adjustable shocks is that you choose how soft or how hard you want the shock to be. There's some color. Now we're starting to get up a little bit. Actually, I feel my fingers starting to get a little cold. Getting some color here. Now, right up along in here, we have bighorn sheep. And it wouldn't surprise me if we had one right down here on the road. A little more color change happening. My neighbor used to see the big ram right there on that driveway. He'd ride over here to to Cripple Creek to work out in the mornings. We have on several occasions seen him right down here in the valley off to our right. Oh, look at that. I hope I can get that on the camera for you. That is beautiful. It's like they're just all on fire, although fire is a bad word up here. Guess I better slow up a little bit. I'm eating this little boy up. It's ahead of me. There you can see patches of orange and yellow up on the hillside. Apologize for the shield in the side of the picture, but up here, as I said before, you got to see where you're going. Not just know the road by heart, but you got to see what's wandered out on it. Along with all the other animals that I've mentioned, the deer, the bear, the mountain lion, mountain sheep, bighorn sheep, the elk. Now we're getting into an area where there's also wild burros left over from the mining days at Cripple Creek. They wander around here. And you're just as likely to come around the corner and see one of those guys in your road too. There's just some color. That is beautiful. Isn't that magnificent? I really hope this camera is capturing this. This is gorgeous. A little bit about the area here. If you look right up ahead of us, there's a peak off in the distance a little bit. That's Mount Pesca. I'm told that's the northern rim, or what's left of the northern rim of the volcano that was here 35 million years ago. And because of that volcano, Cripple Creek has its gold. When I first moved up here, I was fully aware of Cripple Creek and its reputation for being a gold-bearing area, gold and silver. And of course, my wife and I would go out and we would tour around and and visit the local museum like here at Cripple Creek. And when you walk into the museum, there's this rock in a display case just to your right as you come in the door. And it's got a card that says gold ore. And you would think that it would be yellow or have bits and flecks of yellow gold all the way through it. It's purple. It's beautifully purple. And when I asked about it, they said, well, there was so much fluorite when the gold was brought up from the middle of the earth that it mixed with it and made the ore purple. And as we're talking about mining, if you look off in the distance, you'll see sort of squared off mountains. Those are, excuse me, those squared off mountains are the product of the Victor Gold Mine. Their mining process now is revolutionary, I guess, because they'll blast out so many acres of land, 3, 4, 5 foot down, and then go over it, and the area that's rich with ore gets dumped into a big tank with a bunch of steel ball bearings the size of a little smaller than or a little larger, I should say, than softballs, and it gets all crushed up. Then they haul it up here on this mountain, dump it out, pile it up, and they pour out potassium cyanide on the top out of these little hoses, and it filters down through all of that gravel to the bottom, where of course it's all sealed off, and the runoff is channeled down to a facility that takes the gold and silver laden potassium cyanide and extracts it, pumping the potassium cyanide back up on the mountain for another go through, and smelting the gold into chunks. I forget what they call them now. They're about 130, I'm told, 150 pound billets. I'm not sure what they call them. Here's the big little town of Cripple Creek. All of these buildings that look like individual businesses are 3 or 4 casinos with just different facades of the old buildings up front. You go inside and you'll just go from one building to the other, one set of machines to another. This whole street that we just went down is casinos. Alrighty, that's the museum I was telling you about. Some more trees, they're starting to turn, starting to get some color about them. you notice mixed in with them are some pretty brown trees. Those trees have already turned and are about to the end of their cycle. As I've said before, I wanted to make sure that that I got out and got you some pictures of our beautiful trees before the next cold front comes through and blows the leaves off the trees. These beautiful golden yellow trees are quaking aspens. There's your color change. We're coming up on I understand it's still a functioning gold mine. It's called the Molly Kathleen, but they probably make more money taking people on tours, dropping them down into the mine and letting us see what goes on in a mining operation. Okay, we've already climbed up through 10,000 foot mark. Cripple Creek's about 9,500. Trying to give you a picture of the valley. I don't want to run off the road though, so hopefully the camera settled in and gave you a little shot. One of the things that I don't miss, the occasional bug up here is few and far between, even in the summertime. I mean, I've had to really scrub my windshield maybe once, and I put a lot of miles on this thing this summer. Yeah, you can see here that some of the brown leaves are already at the end of their color cycle, and some of the other leaves are just now starting, and they're kind of a bright yellow. I think it's been a little colder up here since we're higher up the mountain.